The biting November wind stung my face as I steered my car onto my parents' street. The familiar oak trees, typically glowing with autumn's amber hues, stood stark and leafless against a cold, slate-colored sky. The neighborhood homes, etched in my memory from childhood, were adorned with festive Thanksgiving decorations, plump inflatable pumpkins swaying on neat lawns, strands of amber lights flickering too early. It felt like a hollow stage for a holiday I was no longer invited to join. This wasn't just any street, nor was this a simple family reunion. This was the place where the fragile illusion of my life with my family would fracture entirely, and the house I grew up in would become the site of my official exile. I'm Alex, in my early 30s, and for most of my life, I'd been the dependable son, the one who never caused a fuss, the one who could always be relied upon. Raised in this serene, tree-shaded suburb, I existed in the shadow of my brother, Mark, the radiant center of our family's universe. I was more like a faint, overlooked star. Mark was magnetic, reckless, loud, always commanding the spotlight and getting it. He had a knack for dodging consequences, broken rules, missed deadlines, failed ventures, and somehow left others feeling at fault. I was reserved, introspective, finding comfort in quiet corners with novels or crafting detailed worlds from building blocks. While Mark filled our home with chaos and demands, I learned to take up as little space as possible, hoping that by being undemanding, by being responsible, I'd earn a sliver of the unwavering devotion showered on him. Our parents encouraged this dynamic, whether they saw its harm or not. Mom, obsessed with appearances and the opinions of neighbors, fawned over Mark with frantic intensity. Every scribbled sketch he made was a work of art. Every minor hurdle he faced was a crisis requiring full family intervention. She'd excuse his erratic behavior, gloss over his flaws, and celebrate his smallest wins, a barely passed exam, a charming quip at a family gathering, as if they were monumental triumphs. Dad, stern about budgets, home maintenance, and local politics, turned inexplicably lenient with Mark. "He's just full of energy," he'd say with a warm chuckle after Mark's latest disruptive stunt. Or he'd lean on that worn-out phrase, "Family sticks together," wielding it not as a promise of love, but as a justification for Mark's irresponsibility and my expected sacrifices. My own quiet successes, earning a scholarship to a top college, building a steady business, were met with a curt nod or a distracted, "Good job, Alex, keep it up," swiftly followed by, "But Mark needs us right now," redirecting attention to his latest crisis. For years, my deepest, most shameful flaw was my desperate longing for their true approval. It wasn't just about recognition. It felt like a vital piece of me was missing. I believed if I worked harder, stayed reliable, avoided trouble, and anticipated their needs, they'd finally see me, value me, as they so clearly valued Mark. I thought naively that my efforts and compliance could earn their love. It was a persistent, foolish hope, a blind spot I couldn't shake no matter how often they dismissed me, let me down, or subtly diminished me. Meanwhile, Mark stumbled through one ill-conceived venture after another with reckless confidence, a shady e-commerce site that burned through funds in weeks, a consulting role that seemed more about lavish dinners than actual work, a half-baked app he abandoned mid-development. Each flop left debts and frustrated partners in its wake, and each time my parents stepped in, writing checks, making discreet calls, and often implying that my stability and modest success meant I should contribute more to family, not just emotionally, but financially. My bookstore and cafe, the Daily Haven, wasn't just a business. It was my refuge, built through late nights hunched over budgets by lamplight, fueled by a passion for stories and connection. I'd poured every cent I had into it, taken out modest loans, and mastered everything from stock management to brewing the perfect espresso. It was my independence, my creation, a thriving testament to my perseverance, built without their help. My parents, however, saw it as a resource, a piggy bank to tap. 3 months ago, Mark's latest and most outlandish venture, a vague tech startup in eco-friendly fashion that reeked of shaky promises and dubious investors, crashed hard. Mark called first, brimming with buzzwords and bravado, urgently needing a massive sum to bridge things until a big investment materialized. Then came the coordinated call from Mom and Dad, chillingly calculated and businesslike. Mark needed $450,000, they said, presenting the solution as if it were the most logical thing. I should sell the Daily Haven. It's just a business, Alex, Mom said, her tone calm and persuasive, oblivious to the fact that my shop was my lifeblood, my community,